What's good, YouTube? It's Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to show you guys this pistol why off trips mini scheme part 1. So if you enjoyed the video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So the playbook that I'm in specifically is the Cardinals playbook. Again, I'm in the Cardinals offensive playbook. Now, this this formation can be found in a number of other playbooks. So please make sure you check the description to see what all other playbooks have this particular formation in it. Now, this wild trips is actually really nice. Now, just packages in case you guys are just curious. They have wide receiver slot 1, slot 2, halfback slot, halfback wideout. They actually have a halfback fullback sub. And also they have tight end slot, of course, tight end wide out. So just wanted to kind of take you through packages just in case you guys were curious about it. But as for today's video, the only passing play I'm gonna show you in this video is going to be this fake screen wheel. Now, when I run this play in game, when I run this formation in game, you're going to see basically how I put together all these other passing concepts. So I really love to use between fake screen wheel, I love to use 4 verticals, and I love to use strong flood. And of course, the run plays in here are nice, and also curl. So those are my favorite passing plays out of here. Now, running plays I'm talking about in today's video, though, I'm gonna show you what the dive alert smoke looks like, the stretch alert lookie, since it's really rare to find stretch alert lookies in Madden 22. So I just kind of want, that's actually what made me do this formation, because it's really rare to find them. Now I'm gonna show you the Y lead read option, and I'm also going to show you this counter alert smoke. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do actually now is actually see I have stretch alert lookie, I have the dive alert smoke. So I'm gonna take 4 verticals out and I'm putting the counter alert smoke, and instead of PA boot slide, I'm actually going to take that out and put another running play. So let's go ahead and put so we have counter, we have stretch, we have dive. So let's go ahead and put Y lead option, because I want to show you guys all the nice run plays, and then we're actually going to come out in the passing play we're going to talk about, which is going to be this fake screen wheel. Now for defense, what we're going to do, we're going to go and take a look just at $1, so you guys can tell I did put some garbage D-line in here just for run purposes, well, just for so we can have time to pass the ball. But I actually want to put these good players back in here. The reason why is just so I can show you guys what it looks like, you know, when somebody has a nice front. So this is realistically what you'll see when you come online. If somebody wants to run 3-down line in front, you know, you'll see Zadarius Smith right here. You'll see Rashawn Gray, or they'll probably have Preston Smith, whichever one. But I'm gonna go ahead and put Rashawn Gray right here, and then you have Kenny Clark, of course. They'll normally have 2 good safeties at linebacker, normally really fast slot receivers, well, slot corner, excuse me. And then we're gonna have speed all around. So I'm gonna show you guys cover 2, cover 3. I'm gonna show you guys cover 4 drop, and I'm gonna show you guys man coverage in today's video. So let's go ahead and come out in cover 3. Now, when you run this offense, I personally love to run it to where my 2 receivers over here on the wide side of the field. Me personally, that's also so when we run these. So for this particular pass play, it works well, and also for the alert style plays. So basically the dive alert smoke. So notice how we can actually throw a screen out here. That's why you want to have it to the wide side. So first and foremost, let's just go down the line. So let's look at stretch alert lookie. So one thing you notice too is that they actually changed their splits. So just be very careful when you call in this run play. So now it doesn't work as good as the old some of the stretch alert lookies, but it all depends on what formation of defense they come out in. Some formations, like maybe like 3-3-5 wide, for example, let's say that one's really good against it. I'm not sure, but let's just pretend that was good against it, and then let's say dollar is really bad against it. So that's kind of what I mean when I say you just want to judge it. So right here, just gonna kind of just show you what it looks like. So notice how we kind of have a little gap right there, and maybe we can gain about 3-4 yards, but some defenses may have a bigger gain on it, if that makes sense. So now, and also keep in mind too, it's a lookie, so if they're not respecting that slant, then sometimes you can still throw that slant. Now obviously right there I wouldn't throw it, you know, I'm just showing you guys that, you know, you still have that option to throw that slant. So if they're playing some type of weird defense where that's open, you can definitely hit that, you know, for a nice gain. So I'll show you what it looks like too, because most people probably pinch their line when they run this, so I guess I'll show you real quick what it looks like. But like I said, it all just depends. So notice right there, the receiver just didn't block. That technically can happen. So those are lookie type plays. That's why I said they aren't too good, but it can be depending on what actually, you know, front they're running for defense. Now moving on, let's take a look at the dive alert. So the dive alert, I actually really like this one. So first I'll show you what happens if they hand the ball off. Notice how we're able to create some nice spacing right there, and notice how Kenny Clark actually does not get like an instant win animation. You'll kind of notice that a lot too, where he just doesn't really get it on these alerts. So notice how right there they're actually doing a really great job of blocking. Like, he lights up, but he actually doesn't get the little disengage that they normally give. So that's actually really cool. And also one thing is cool too, so let's go into press. Now, if they don't have a hard flat, you can actually throw this little bubble route right here. So notice how they'll actually go out and block him, and sometimes that'll happen too, where they actually give the fortunate animation of them falling. That definitely does happen. So don't be afraid to throw that bubble route out there if they're playing any type of zones. Now, obviously, if they're playing some type of hard flat, then I believe that'll actually stop it, of course. I actually want to see, because most of the time that actually does. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can still actually throw it, but I wouldn't chance it, but it's really nice when it does work. So anyways, moving on. So let's take a look at this counter alert smoke. Now, this counter alert smoke, you notice now it's actually to this side. So if they're not playing like a hard flat to this side, sometimes you can throw that. So let's go and see here. So notice how he backs off. We throw the ball, you know, I don't know. I really don't like it just because there's nobody out there to block. Unless, you know, let's try something. I wonder if we can actually motion a guy, because sometimes you can motion a blocker and they'll actually come out here and block. Let's see. We might have found something. Let's see here. So let's say, will he block him? Okay, not really. Not really. I want to test it out one more time. So I want to try testing out that outside guy, and let's see if we can actually get him to block. And we might even try ID, and that might actually help too. So let's try to ID this Mike right here, and then let's take this outside guy and motion him, and then snap it right when he's right past that Gary dude. So okay, will he block him? Nope. So he still kind of dumbs out, but you can tell we can kind of play around with that. All right, one more thing I want to try. One more thing, and I promise we're going to get into passing concepts. I'm just my brain is just thinking right now. So let's take this tight end, motion him over, and let's see if we can ID this guy. Let's see if he'll block him. Then just kind of curious about this. Can we get this person to get blocked? Nope. Okay, so anyways, you know, that's how you can kind of play around and see. Like I said, some fronts they might let you block that person, some fronts they might not. But I do want to at least show you the run play to counter, like, and show you what it looks like when you hand the ball off. It's okay, it's literally just a regular counter. So like I said, it all just depends on what they're doing. You can tell right there, we were able to cut it back. So the good thing about this formation is that you have so many run plays that you can actually take advantage of. And you can actually see, okay, if he runs this is the best run play. If he runs this formation, this is the best run play. That's how you actually want to use his offense, actually. So last thing is his widely read option. Now with this particular run play, I'm gonna pinch my line because most people will. But with this particular run play, you want to use like Kyler Murray, somebody like Lamar Jackson, somebody like Russell Wilson, who actually has like escape artists, because it's actually going to let them get out a little faster. And also, if you keep the ball, they actually do a pretty good job of blocking. But really, you want to use this if they're not actually showing you that they're going to take away the quarterback. And a lot of times what you'll realize, let me actually move the player right here. So a lot of times what you'll realize is that whenever they let you keep the ball, you actually are able to move a little faster. So here we go right here, good example. So notice how we are able to kind of get out of there and gain about 5-6 yards. So please make sure you're all conservative when you do this with this particular play, because if you're not, you're definitely going to fumble the ball. Definitely are. At least with my luck, you would. Now, that's pretty much all the run plays I want to go over, and I want to talk about this one concept right here to kind of use as a passing, and then in part 2, you guys are going to be able to see how I put everything together and show you how I will completely do this scheme. So, yeah, that's how we're doing it. So, I'm going to go ahead and press just because that's typically what you'll see. Now, for this setup, what I love to do is actually take square, put them on the in route. I like the smart route as in route, and then I like to take X right here and put them on a street. And I love to take my running back and put them on a swing route to the single receiver side. So swing route to the left, for example. And this right here is the money play. Now, if they're playing cover 3, a lot of times X is going to be open in that little seam. You just need to wait, and then you'll be able to hit that gap right there for a potential one-play touchdown. Now, I do understand the only reason that's like that is because the safety is actually the one in the hook curl. So I'll show you what it looks like if the linebacker's in the middle. If the linebacker's in that middle hook, I'll show you that here in a second. But essentially what's going to happen is that if they're not playing any zone drops, this throw right here is going to always be open, because what's going to happen is this purple will actually match this little wheel route. He'll actually match if they're not playing zone drops. So you'll either have this throw or you'll have this throw, or depending on what's happening with the defense, you'll have this little in route that can get open too. So let me kind of show you what I was talking about here at first. So let's go to let's put him in the hook curl now, and then let's put him in a quarterback spy, right? So let's go ahead and do it that way. And also I'll show you what happens if the third is on that side, just kind of in case you're curious about what that looks like. So this is a traditional cover 3 style that you normally will see. So let's take X, put him on a streak, square on the in route, small route is in route, triangle on the swing route. Now, I actually love this on like 1st and 10, 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12s. I don't like calling this on like a I don't like calling this on like a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 3, because we can't smart route this in route deep enough to my liking. So that's why I was talking about like that. Now, let me just show you that. So if they don't have their third on the right spot, you can always have that. So if they don't have it, like I said, if they don't have the third to the trip side, you can literally take advantage of that every single time, and that's something a lot of people don't do. So you can definitely take advantage of that. So let's just say they flip the defense, right? So now they have the third on that side. We'll go and press, just so I can show you, exactly what it looks like. So in case, worst case scenario with a cover 3, you guys can at least see what it looks like. So notice how X, sometimes you can still even have that right there. Like I said, that throw is actually really crazy because you could definitely have that. So I'm doing that just in case like the user is falling asleep and not actually covering it. You could definitely abuse that. But like I said, let's just say worst case scenario, it's not open, right? You tried to throw it there, user, you're worried about the user lurking right there. So what are my other reads, real? So that's what I'm basically about to get into. Now let's just say for whatever reason X is not open, right? Hopefully I have time in the pocket. But look at circles. A lot of times you can playmaker them out, or a lot of times you can actually have that throw right there. So you have a 1-2 option with that, because that little hitch route, I'm gonna call it, it's just so money because it's gonna sit right there and you're gonna be able to playmaker it every single time. And also, like I said, this is nice because what's going to happen is this swing route is going to widen out that purple out here, or whatever outside coverage that is. There's going to widen it out, and you're going to have this throw right here. You can tell it's literally going to be wide open every single time versus cover 3 or cover 4 drop. And also the user, so basically if this is the user, he has to decide, okay, do I want to guard this streak? So they're going to kind of take away the streak, and now they have to decide, what, do I want to come guard this, or do I want to come guard this? And a lot of times what they're going to do, they're going to take the user and shoot down here, especially if you're rolling out that way. You're going to be able to throw this little backside in route pretty much every single time, or you can playmaker that guy up the field, as you was able to see. Now, cover 2. Let's talk about cover 2 first. So with cover 2, I'm going to spot these two guys just so I can have a tiny bit of time in the pocket. But you actually can't have a one-play touchdown with this particular setup right here versus cover 2. But what I would suggest you do, never mind, same setup, excuse me. So here we go right here. Now, the money concept is going to come between either X or R1. So you want to be able to make that read. So you can actually have either one. I'll show you how to get X a little bit more wide open, but you can tell sometimes you can split that seam right there. But if you want him to be a little bit more wide open, there is something that you can do, which I'll go ahead and show you right now. So let's go back to cover 2. Let's go ahead and press. So I'm going to spy these two guys right here because I do not feel like getting hollered at. Now, take X, put them on the streak, triangle on the in route, square on the in route, smart route is in route like this. Now, if you want to get X a little bit more wide open, all you got to do is actually take him and actually just motion him out. So what's going to happen is that it's going to make throwing in the middle of the field a whole lot easier. So now, kind of watch what happens now. So notice how he's going to be able to get a little bit more wide open. Now, look at how we can actually split those safeties. So at first we couldn't have that throwing angle, so when you motion them out, it's going to make that angle a lot easier to throw the ball with. So that's actually a little, so if you notice they're playing cover 2, you can definitely abuse that. Now let's show you this other side right here. So let's take them, do the same thing. Here we go right here. Now I want to show you R1 because you actually want to roll out the pocket a little bit. It's going to help make that throw a lot easier. So let me just kind of show you this right here. So hopefully Kenny Clark doesn't go crazy, but notice how we're able to drift out the pocket, and notice how we're able to get like a little rack animation and potentially turn that into a one-play touchdown. So you really have two ways you could bomb cover 2. So what that means is that if somebody's playing this style of cover 2 right here, so let's just, I'm just going to do this right here just to make it easier. So let's say somebody's playing this style of cover 2, right, where they're either using right here or they're using this guy, right? So this play is going to be really powerful because no matter what, we're going to be able to have a dot wide open, because what's going to happen is that we're going to either have square or we're going to have R1 every single time. So let me just go ahead and show you that right here. So notice R1, we can actually drift this way, and then also, like I said, look at square if there's not, 3 or 4, spies right there, obviously, but under normal circumstances, that'll be wide open, but also what I wanted you to pay attention to is that even if they put that middle third there, you're still going to be able to have this little throw to the sideline. So notice how we're able to drift out, and then you can still throw this on the outside pass lead straight to the sideline. Now, one thing you might be thinking about is, well, okay, so what if they do this right here? So what if they put him in a third? I'm going to spy these two guys just for time's sake. Now, what if they take him and put him out here, right? Technically, that throw should be taken away, right? Well, let's just go ahead and take a look at it, right? So let's take X, put him on the streak. Let's go ahead and set it right back up. Boom, right? And then let's go ahead and see. So basically, watch R1. So no, you want to drift out the pocket, and then you want to just throw it on a hard pass lead. So if they widen that guy out, a lot of times you just want to possession catch him on the sideline, and you will be good. Now, also, this does work versus zone drop, but I don't have zone drop on, and I don't want this being like a 30-minute video. But if they zone drop, it's going to be the same thing. You still will be able to have this throw that gets open. Just because you just want to wait for it to fall off. And X is going to do a great job of holding that safety. That's why it's going to not matter whether the zone dropping or not. So like I said, you can come here and you just want to wait, and then you'll be able to throw it on a hard pass lead. Now right there, I possession caught it, but I could have just racked it and then potentially scored, So that's how you dissect cover 2. Now cover 4 drop, I'll show you cover 4 drop too. And like I told you guys, it's going to be the same thing as cover 3 basically, except for you just won't have that quick seam throw, if that makes sense. So basically X is going to do a great job of pushing everything back. You can tell we have circle or we're going to have square, and that's basically how you want to read that. You either want to read circle or square. And now when they start playing double Mabel style coverages to stop this play, guess what play we're going to run? We're going to run curls until they're tired of it, because that is specifically a double Mabel style beater. And you guys will see that in gameplay. Like I said, if you mix these plays in, it's really, really nice. A little nice scheme that you have going. So last thing I want to talk about in today's video is going to be man coverage. So with man coverage, it's a tad bit different since this technically isn't my favorite man beater play. I just kind of want to show you what I would do versus man coverage. So if they were to play man coverage, what I would suggest you do is just do something basic, maybe something like this would be something nice, or I don't know, it's really hard because this is not a so I would probably take X, put them on in route. So I'll probably do a double in route combo like this, and I would probably take circle and maybe put them on a drag. So this is probably something I would do. So what's happening here is you actually just want to see where the user is going to go between square and X. And also if you have like a nice matchup or something, maybe they're playing like a purple or something like that with this side. So if they're doing something like this, then maybe you can see. So let's shade over the top. So sometimes you probably can have that wheel route right here, but it's not guaranteed. It's just, this is not a man beater. Like, this is not a play I would call versus man coverage. It's just strictly zone. But I just want to show you, if they happen to run man coverage, this is what I would do. And if I didn't want to block my running back, I'll probably put him on a swing route just to get him out the way, so we can actually make an easy read between X and square. So that's what I would do. I'll be looking between X and square, okay, you know, I'll throw a square right there. That's how I would do it personally. I'm hopping replay really quick, and then it's pretty much going to be the video for part 1, because like I said, this isn't a man beater setup. Like, I wouldn't run man coverage versus this, you know. That's just me personally. Or I wouldn't call this, you know, play versus man coverage. That's not what this is for. So let me just go and kind of show you this. So like I said, the swing route is just to move him out the way, and a lot of times you just want to choose. So basically the user's going to be somewhere in the middle, right? So you just want to see, will he run with this out route or will he run with this in route? So whichever one he doesn't run with, that's what you want to throw. And now if you want to make it an even clearer read, what you can do is so let's just go back to man coverage. So if you want to make it a clearer read, because sometimes people can get in the way whenever you're calling this. So let's just let's go inside underneath, right? Just something like this. Now what you can do, take X, put them on the in route, smart route it, take square, put them on the in route, smart route it, and then we can actually take circle, put them on a drag. But now we can actually motion this drag across, and basically we're going to create a little better spacing concept, if you will. Take triangle, still put them on a swing route. And so now kind of look the spacing here. So notice how now we have players moving, players getting into space, and then a lot of times that'll happen too, where they bump into each other. So it's just the ways that you create better spacing. So if you want to actually, I guess, use another play, like if you wanted to use this and they were playing man coverage, this is what I would do. I would actually motion them over to create a drag route, because drags can run away from man coverage, and then you'll make this read right here between this in route or this out route. As you can tell, we'll be able to throw that ball right there on the sideline. Sometimes this running back route does get in the way, so it really just depends, honestly. But you guys can tell, either you're gonna have this in route, that out route. That's how I like to read that. Or sometimes, like I said, it all depends. Sometimes this route can win against man coverage if he has like a little ability on him. I believe he'll actually get a little bit of separation. It just depends. Like right there, we may be able to throw that, maybe, but not with the deep safety there, obviously. But you know, that's just how I would do it. But anyways, that's wrap it up for part 1. So like I said, be on the lookout for part 2, because I'll show you guys gameplay, and I'll show you guys exactly how I put this whole scheme together and how I actually really like it, and the whole reason I put a video out on it. But anyways, I do hope you guys have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.